Alright guys, time for me to give my quick thoughts on the movie I just finished up watching, Allied, my first ever 4K movie on my new 4K TV. It looked beautiful and it was a great movie. I really enjoyed this one. I will say though, if you've seen the trailers for this movie, you pretty much know what you're getting yourself into. Brad Pitt plays a British World War II soldier. Well, actually, he's Canadian. And the basic thick of the plot is that his wife might be a German spy. And of course, we go through the process of is she or is she not? Plenty of twists and turns. The setup is really great as well, with her being a kind of spy slash assassin who gets set up with Brad Pitt to assassinate a German officer, and they go through all that, and they fall in love, and you kind of think everything's going well, but of course, she might be a spy, and they do a great job, again, of setting that all up, where little things she has said and done kind of in the beginning of the film makes you kind of wonder towards the end, is she not? You're not really sure. I gotta say, though, that the trailers were somewhat kind of a spoiler, though, because going into this film, I knew that that was the plot of the movie, again, just from the trailers I saw. And I think it would have been more interesting had I not known that, had I just gone into the movie not having any idea what the plot was about, and then going, oh, geez, she might be a spy. You know, that could have thrown me for a loop, and it would have been really interesting and a bit more suspenseful and entertaining. Whereas I knew that was coming the whole time. I'm kind of paying attention to the little things she's doing and little things she's saying, because I know that in the end of the movie she's gonna possibly be a spy. I won't let you know if she is or isn't, although I do kind of want to do some spoilers here. But again, I kind of knew what was going to happen towards the end of the movie, and it did sort of ruin it a little bit for me, so darn you trailers. But regardless, it was still extremely, extremely well done, very much entertaining. If you're a big fan of war films, this is a little bit of a different one. I kind of like that as well, when it's not just your typical, somebody out fighting in the trenches and whatnot, and, killing all the Germans and everything. Those movies are fun and all and great, and they can be very well done. But it's also interesting to see just basically a story that's kind of just taking place during the war, which is very interesting. And again, this movie was extremely, extremely, extremely well done, and I thought everybody played their characters brilliantly, and again, it was just extremely entertaining. So, all right, possibly some spoilers here for you guys. The ending of the film, ready? Okay, so the end was interesting. Of course, they do find out that Brad Pitt's wife is a spy, but only kind of, sort of, in the sense that she essentially kind of was a spy, but she fell in love with Brad Pitt. She wanted to run away with him and thought, they would never find her. They, of course, did find her, and basically kind of forced her into to being a spy and remaining keeping up with her spyness, whatever you want to call it. She basically had to keep spying on the British soldiers, and of course on Brad Pitt, or her husband, and they basically were holding kind of like their child as ransom and whatnot, basically saying like, oh, we're gonna kill your child and everything if you don't do this, you don't spy for us, which is pretty messed up. So it's very interesting at the end, and very kind of like heartfelt at the end, to find out that she, yes, she was being a spy, but she didn't want to do it. It's who she was, but when she fell in love with Brad Pitt, she wanted nothing to do with it anymore. She just wanted to be with her husband and daughter and be in love with them and have a great family. And it's very sad at the very end when she ends up taking her own life, but she does it, of course, to save her daughter, which is very awesome as well, because of course, Brad Pitt never would have killed his wife. He loved her, and they were actually trying to run away, and they caught up with them. They did not get away at the very end. They ended up catching them, and essentially Brad Pitt was going to be tried for treason as well, because he was trying to escape with the spy wife, and they would have executed them both. But she ends up executing herself to essentially save the child, and Brad Pitt gets to then live the rest of his life with his child, and it's very, very interesting and very heartfelt. And again, great movie, definitely well done, and I would highly recommend it. So hopefully you stopped watching. I didn't just spoil stuff for you, but I did like the ending. I thought it was well done, and again, the whole movie was just very entertaining from start to finish. It's just, again, it just kind of bugged me that the trailer sort of ruined a bit for me. There wasn't that whole you know, kind of like, oh my gosh, is she a spy? You knew it was coming because of the trailers, unfortunately. Definitely, I'm not like a big spoiler guy. I don't really care about spoilers. You know, I still want to see a movie, even if somebody completely spoils a movie for me or I watch a review on it. I don't care about that. It's still, I'm still like, I still want to see the movie, but this is one of the few cases where I think the movie might have been better had I not known what was going to happen, had I not known that she was possibly going to be a spy. Regardless, though, it's still a fantastic watch. I would definitely recommend it. Again, if you're a fan of war movies, you want to see something a little bit different, this is definitely one to watch. It's just a great story that happens to take place during World War II, and again, fantastic. Brad Pitt and everybody else is amazing in this movie, so Allied, I'd say check it out.